Okay, I think this is working. All right, cool. So, Jack, I know that this is a new format for you overall, but we'll have a 2-minute timer. The goal is to identify the winning pieces of these ads. And we're going to start first with the dough bar ad. This ad ran for a really long time, so I'm going to pull up my timer and we'll have 2 minutes. Take your notes. We'll share afterwards. Looking forward to it. So, timer's going. Have at it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, time. So let's start with this. Let's start with this dough bar ad. So whoever wants to go first, what is it about this ad that makes it a winning ad? I mean, this ad ran for months. So who wants to go first? Feel free to do the little hand raise thing. All right, Isaac, make sure you unmute yourself there too.
Yeah. So looking at it, I looked at the copy at first. Tell me to lower my hand. Sorry. Two things that stuck out to me were the ship right to your door, which is the ease of access element of it. There's no real barrier to entry of obtaining the product itself. And then, as seen on Shark Tank, provides validity and trust. And we've talked about that almost every single week in these trainings and how important that is. And then on the creative side, you see exactly what you're getting, and they look appetizing, and you know each flavor and what they look like. And then also variety of the month provides some sort of exclusivity, like only can get it this month. Next month it's not gonna be the same. So if you like these flavors, do it now. Almost a sense of urgency.
Yeah, all good call outs there for sure. Obviously, you know this offer really well because you've worked on it quite a bit too. So, yeah, so you have a leg up there. So Skylar, and then Jack.
Yeah, I was just going to call out the credibility check through Shark Tank, but really go into kind of like the hook being donuts, but protein donuts, monkey bread, cinnamon rolls, and then the offer being that it's protein in a delicious variety form. So it's kind of like talking and visually, but also showing that protein isn't just like through a shake or through anything else. It can come through all these awesome delicious flavors.
Yep, good one there as well. Jack, you're up. Make sure you unmute yourself there too.
Yeah. Skylar kind of took it on there. The first thing that caught my eye was the protein donuts. They're very contrasting. You don't normally expect protein and donuts to be side by side, hand in hand. And then also labeling the flavors in regards to the creative, the image, the labeling of the flavors. Like, I'm a big Oreo fan. So the Oreo cheesecake, like, that immediately took my eye, and then cookie dough is my second favorite on there. So I immediately darted across to that one.
Love that.
That's a really good way of being able to, that's what, before even the variety of the month, the word Oreo is what really took me on right away first.
Yeah. So this concept was morphed into probably a dozen other winning ads after this. overall, so that's where, when we talk about the winning ad formula, you can really replicate that process over and over and over into carousel ads, video ads, additional static image ads, etc. So yeah, Jack, I like how you called out, like, for you specifically, like the actual flavors really caught your attention, right? So that is what resonated with you specifically, whereas like maybe Anna's a big Nutter Butter apple pie fan, and maybe those catch her attention. Did I get those right? Maybe I did.
I like all of them.
Okay, perfect.
I like that it has the donut and the whole as well. So
Yeah.
it's like you're getting the whole thing with the flavor.
Yeah. Kev, you're up.
Yeah, so going back to the 10 objection framework, it answers 4 of them, right? So what is it? So through copy and creative. So with the protein donuts, monkey bread, also you can visually see this in donuts, so not a lot of explanation there. What do I get? So you get 8 donuts / the variety of the month. So through the creative. When do I get it? So in the headline, so order ship in just a few days. And then also, how do I know it's real? So validation through Shark Tank. So overcoming 4 objections that are common in the e-com space, just through copy and creative and the whole ad in itself.
Yeah, I love that. I love, calling that back to the 10 objection framework there overall. Like, and I think that's something to really highlight, really for everybody, is using what we know will be objections and hitting it right away through the copy and the creative. So, like Kevin, touched on there, like what is it? Why do I need it? Why now? That social proof angle. Not every brand is going to have not only the social proof of like literally 227 shares on this ad, let alone 1,200 comments and 5,000 or whatever it is likes. Like that's social proof in and of itself. But the actual Shark Tank factor can be leveraged in so many ways for this brand specifically. And so using that in the creative can help to, obviously decrease cost per click, which can help decrease cost per acquisition and increase return on ad spend. So, James, I think you had something that you wanted to add in there as well.
Yeah, for me, the variety is the first thing I noticed. You can get your protein in many different flavors. So just seeing the flavors, having them listed in the copy, then also having them listed on the donuts themselves in the design, and the variety of the month graphic in the middle. So that's what got me first, was just seeing that I can get my protein in so many different ways, not just the protein bar or whatever. And also that it's fast shipping. It comes right to your door, ships in a few days. So those urgent things got me as well.
Nice. I like how James is starting to see the direct response elements now. He didn't even mention anything about the creative. I love it. Good job. Good work there for sure. Tristan, I think you might have had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add on, the quick delivery is super important in a world of Amazon,
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely with that. When you think food product, you don't always think, I'm going to get it quick, right? So all of these, I kind of strategically put all of these together today because there are 3, healthy food brands that we work on. And they all kind of have definitely probably a similar objection, right? And so, with that, the last thing that I wanted to call out overall was the use of native imagery, right? So the last few weeks, we've talked a lot about native versus non-native. This is a good example of mostly a native image that isn't overly designed and really fits the platform, but yet it has design elements to it, right? Like it's a well-shot photo. It obviously has copy overlaid on it, which speaks specifically to the offers. So not only just the individual products themselves that Jack called out, but then also like what James called out too, like variety of the month, and someone else mentioned too, like when I think of donuts, I don't think protein, right? So that catches my attention, let alone the fact that because this is an ad and an offer that's being marketed to cold traffic, new customers that this brand doesn't have, variety very much plays into the psychology of someone to just try the product, right? And I think a lot of times, so that's something to just sort of share back with you guys too, as you're going through the creative process, let's be thinking, how can I just get someone to try this? And the offer and the creative and the copy can really lend to that, right? Because if we think the difference of like, you know, first date, get engaged, get married, like I just need you to go on out for coffee with me from the ad. Like, I don't need you to buy my subscription. That's like, let's get married. I just need you to click. Like, I just need you to meet me for coffee, right? And we, you know, and I'm just as guilty as of this all the time, like depending on the angle of the copy. So I thought that was a good thing to call out because you guys all did touch on the variety, which was very strategic when we created this offer. So good call out there overall. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next one. Let's actually, instead of doing the Smart for Life example, because it's very similar to the dough bar example, you know, I'll sort of just touch on briefly why this is a winning ad, and then we can touch on the Chef V example. So with the Smart for Life example, again, like native imagery, this is actually a short video, like a 10-second video, very insatiable, right? So right out of the gate, like, I think Isaac said it, like you see exactly what the product is, right? And it's so colorful. So like it really grabs my attention, you know, in the news feed. You know, there's the product itself just naturally draws you in by way of like how it's made and manufactured and all of that. And then we've got these two really compelling hooks, right? So in the ad copy and the headline, the future of protein bars is here. So to go back to that aspect of protein donuts, right? Like Jack called out, like, I don't expect protein donuts. Like, this is kind of like, what are you doing differently with the protein bar? Like, what are you doing differently that I haven't seen before? And so that headline from a compellingness factor grabs a lot of attention. This ad is obviously getting a lot of social proof and engagement as well on the platform. And then we also have this really simple hook of we're saying no to boring protein and meal replacement bars. So that speaks specifically to anyone who is eating protein or meal replacement bars on a daily basis. As most of you guys probably know, we like to call this avatar the Fit Foodie or Healthy Heather. And so Healthy Heather is somebody who is eating this product most likely, or a similar product, weekly, right? And so while it doesn't say, hey, Healthy Heather, or hey, calling all fit foodies, which we've done in the past, the copy does speak directly to Healthy Heather, you know, in this scenario, and it resonates with her emotionally, right? So like, this isn't even the best ad copy, but it does trigger some sort of emotional response, like, at least at minimum, yeah, I hate protein bars, like they're so boring, right? And that's the sort of thing, you know, to really call out there with the hook, you know, in the combination. Because if you actually think of all of these things together, so boring protein, then I've got this amazing looking product here on my screen, right? And then I've got the future of protein bars. So when you tie in the imagery, the hook in the copy, and the hook in the headline, that headline really says what the offer is. It really ties it all together. So this ad is run for quite a long time as well. Alfie, who's not here today, so he's running this, you know, in this account. So just wanted to share some thoughts there, and then let's go through we'll go through the Chef V example. So same thing, you know, 2 minute on the timer, and then we'll start with Anna this time when we come back from the break. So 2 minutes on the clock, fire away, and I'll catch you back here in a second.
Hey, Will, is that a actual video that we're going to be playing, or are we just going to be looking at the screenshot?
Yeah, do you guys want to see it? I probably should have pulled that up.
You're on mute.
Whoops. Yeah, do you want to see it? I do have that.
Yeah.
All right, bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this to work. Share this tab instead. Share this tab instead. Okay, cool. Oh, well, that's creepy. Can you see the little loom thing too? Hold on 1 sec. All right. Let me switch back over to the other screen. Oh! There we go. I told you technical difficulties were going to happen at some point. All right, Anna, you're up. So, what do you got for us? What do you think are the winning pieces to this ad that have made it such a successful ad?
Okay, so like first thing that I saw was that feel like new again. So basically, this is like the promise of like some benefit that will apply to us. Then we see the thumbnail, so there's like a lot of greenery, and that makes us think about something healthy. And then we see like the blenders, so it's obviously like shakes, healthy, drink after your workout or something. Then next thing is like the gloves on hands. It's like everything is sanitary and like very fancy, whatever. Then shop 50% off. So that kind of makes me want to click on it and be like, oh, it's 50% off. I want to check it out. Then like when we watch the video, all of the ingredients are listed. So it's very simple. It's like, oh, just those 6 ingredients in this wonderful shake. So it's kind of like healthy. I want to, and everything is being mixed on your ice. So you kind of like eat with your ice. And then also like they list the benefits of every single ingredient, and the benefits are for like problems that are very common. So it's like universal for a big target audience. It's not only for like women or men or something. It's like, oh, eat lettuce and you're gonna have beautiful skin or whatever. So like everybody, it appeals to like everybody. So everybody can connect to it and be like, oh, actually, like I have this problem. Let me check it out. So yeah, so basically that's what I paid attention.
Well, you stole the show, obviously. You touched on all of the main points, so great job. The one thing that I want to give Anna credit for, and then Skylar, fire away, is you called out, because I actually wanted to ask this question. You kind of took it from me right away. Was that you mentioned feel like new again, and the question that I was going to ask you was, or anyone in the group, what is the offer that isn't the shop 50%, right? So you called it out, right? Like the offer is actually to feel like new again. Yes, is it get 50% off cleanses? Absolutely. But the offer is the transformation, right? So Tristan talked a little bit about the transformation, I think, last week. And so I'm glad that you picked up on that, because now the team can start thinking that as well, right? Like, oh, I remember when Anna mentioned the transformation of Feel Like New Again when we were analyzing the Chef V ads, right? And, it might come up for, another, ad creative that we could develop. So Skylar and then Tristan. Yeah. So Anna, great job with that overall.
Yeah, Anna kind of crushed it. So like, there's not a lot to go on, I guess, for more about, but I kind of am looking at just the cover photo, and kind of the video itself, it's very like kind of native, fresh. You get that feel of like, oh, like that's something that they do that's special, knowing that it's like the number one nation's leading 21-day detox. I thought the promise of easy and satisfying also resonates very generally, but also like specific to anyone in the way that they receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like the inside the Thrive. So it's showing behind the scenes access of what they do and how they do it. And that's kind of unique in terms of an ad itself.
Yeah.
You can hear Peach
Maybe. Oh, is it
she,
Peach?
She agrees. She's like, yeah,
Thank
great.
you, Peach.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then if you're not like convinced already, hey, 50% off. So it drives the click and that conversion.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call outs there. So Tristan and then Jack.
Yeah, so I had a couple things here just with the copy up front. So the first thing is it's that feel copy concept, right? Like you're using kind of a nostalgia aspect of how they felt the last time they did a detox or the last time that they did any type of juicing or cleanse, right? So that's going to trigger that memory there, especially for this audience in particular. I think, another copy hook that we tried was ready for a reset, right? So that reset is also really good too, that copy. But outside of that, what Kevin mentioned with the first ad for Dough Bar, it also goes into taking off a few objections as well. Ease of use.
Yep.
And then also the guarantee of satisfaction. Like, is this going to taste terrible?
Yeah.
Right? We say guaranteed to satisfy you, right? So that's another thing in the copy, takes away 2 objections right there. The thumbnail's really solid. As Anna mentioned, it goes into like you never see people putting in like vegetables into blenders, let alone multiple blenders with gloves on, white coats.
Yeah, like what is this?
Yeah, it's a total scroll stopper, right? Like even if you were to use a different thumbnail here, like this is strategic too, using the thumbnail here, because if we just went directly to the blender, it wouldn't be as impactful.
Yeah. You know what's funny about this video though? Like Facebook actually defaults this thumbnail. The other thing that's funny about it, I bet you that
that's a solid.
Yeah, I bet you that this isn't even staged. Like I bet you that that's just how they do it, and it was just filmed and it just wound up being really good, because we know their team really well. I can tell you that they probably didn't think down to of exactly what this shot looked like. It just so happened to work out that way.
I think it's great. And then the last few things I was going to say was, seals the deal with the strong offer there, right? 50% off. And then the strong social proof, super powerful there. So a lot of sales principles. And then also just, this was kind of an older ad, but if we want to get into kind of a contextual strategy here, I would reshoot it with people wearing masks, because of the COVID.
Yeah, that's a good point.
situation.
Yeah, I do think, and while this is not a creative meeting per se, let's make a note about developing variations like we did for the TBO video, where we could put top and bottom rails on this and, make some adjustments to the actual creative itself, because this video has probably produced, I'd go as far to say 7 figures this year. I don't have the exact numbers, but it has been a monster.
We got some in the arsenal right now.
Good. Fantastic. Good. All right, Jack and then James, and then we'll wrap up.
Just a quick one. It gave me in the first one with the Dough Bar, we had that as seen on ABC Shark Tank as its sense of credibility. The credibility from this came from the combination of the nation's number one, the high production value of the video. I think that's very important when it comes to video content. And this is extremely, this is high level, very high production value. And then also that gets topped off by then the social proof that's attached to it as well, with the amount of comments, the amount of shares.
Yeah.
So I think without having something as as bold as seen on ABC Shark Tank, it still gives you a sense of credibility throughout this ad.
Yeah. Yeah, on multiple
I think that's
fronts.
a really good point, Jack.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to say the number one detox, you don't want to have
one
yeah, exactly. A trash video to follow.
Because then it's just what kind of claim is this?
Yeah.
It supports the claim.
Yeah,
Definitely.
just to throw that in there too. To throw that in there too, one of the best parts about all three of these ads, all of this engagement on all three of them was all organic through the paid. So like we weren't running, engagement ads on these creatives or anything to give it this false sense of engagement or anything. Like this was all just, these ads were so good. They've run for such a long time that they've attracted a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of shares, which great ads do. Like great ads that run for a long time attract a lot of social proof. And then to Jack's point, like it just backs all of that up, right? So when you have a great hook and the right creative and a great offer, like that's when things bang. So James, you want to bring it on home for us there?
Yeah, it was kind of what Jack was talking about, just the authenticity of it. Just seeing the white gloves and the green and the science suit, it brings authenticity to the claim that it's the nation's #1 detox plan. It's not just like some lady in her kitchen doing it. There's a team of guys here, and all you see is the greens. And then also just the buzzword of detox and the 21-day. I feel like that hits home more with the avatar of the healthy Heather. Like for some reason they love their diets to be in like daily and weekly plans,
Yeah.
And that word detox, it just hits home with them. So yeah, I think altogether it just makes it a great ad.
Awesome. Yeah, great add-ins there as well. Another good teardown sesh. So appreciate, everyone's insights, copy, creative, hooks, offers, recognizing those aspects between native and non-native. Anna calling out the messaging with Feel Like New Again. I mean, that was awesome. That's one element that I would say I want to press on a little bit here is as a reminder that like offers aren't always discounts, right? Like offers are also what will this product do for me? And then as you guys are strategizing creative, like how do we bring the offer to life through the messaging and through the creative? And in this case, it was Feel Like New Again. And so like, yes, is the shop 50% off nice? And that is by definition a true offer. But going beyond that and going into what makes this ad compelling is going into the root of why the messaging can help make that irresistible. So just wanted to add that in as well because Anna spotted that right out of the gate. And so, I mean, awesome session today, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll definitely be doing more of these. Hopefully, Jack, you're new to the team, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Get to see like how the team dissects ads, what we're looking for overall, share ideas, etc. So feel free to jump off. If anybody wants to stick around, if they have any questions for me or anything, feel free to hang on. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on Slack.
Tristan, can you hang out for a second?
Cool, and I'll jump off.
See you guys.
Cheers, Will.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you, everyone.